let's talk about the 10 most effective video hooks to capture your audience's attention. If you want to increase engagement and get more viewers on your video content, then this video is for you. Before we get into the 10 hook examples, let's talk about why short form video continues to be the dominating factor on social media. Basically, every single social media and networking platform empowers users to use short form video content. And it's short form video content that really requires hooks more than anything else. Especially when someone's scrolling through the feed, you have a split second to visually or with the audio experience hook their attention and give them a reason to watch. Of course, long form video like this is also very important to include a great hook. So these tips and strategies we'll talk about today apply to both short and long form video content. It's really every single platform that's supporting video content, especially short form. Of course, platforms like YouTube with YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, TikTok, Snapchat, Pinterest, but other up-and-coming channels for short form include LinkedIn. LinkedIn's kind of late to the game, but they in fact in their mobile app have a videos tab where you can click on that and it kind of has a similar experience, say, to like TikTok or YouTube Shorts, where you can scroll through different short form vertical video content. And especially with tools like our phones and simple and more comprehensive video editing apps, desktop and mobile, it's easier now more than ever to create and post. So the key factor here is having more targeted messages to give people a clear reason to actually watch your content in this content saturation world that we live in. So make sure that you understand your audience first and then have a more effective hook to give them a reason to watch from the start to the end of your video. You know what's really cool too is AI tools like ChatGPT, Jasper, and others allow you to brainstorm more effective video hooks to include in your videos. In one of these chat threads, you can start to feed it information and prompts that helps it learn about your target audience and the topics you tend to talk about, even categories of content, be that business development, digital marketing, whatever is relevant to your audience. And then as it learns about your audience and the types of content you're looking to create, the types of topics you're looking to cover, then this AI can give you more effective hooks to use. But be specific in your prompts. Make sure you get very specific on your target audience, on the channel that you're going to speak to them on, and the topic you're going to cover. Write me 5 effective video hooks to capture my audience's attention in less than 3 seconds for LinkedIn, targeting business and marketing leaders in businesses ranging from $20 to $40 million in revenue. That is a sample prompt. You can get more specific and find something that's more relevant to your audience. And don't necessarily take that first response as the law that you have to follow for your hooks. Brainstorm more, even use your own human creativity to identify specific hooks. But don't dismiss AI. It can become an effective partner to brainstorm and come up with more effective hooks to capture your audience's attention. Now, here are a few trends to look out for, but also implement into your video content and as you're considering what hooks to include. Consider personalization in your messages and also quick storytelling. Personalized content looks like calling out a specific audience or type of person in your hook. So you give that type of audience member a clear reason to watch. Maybe you're talking to healthcare professionals or software developers. Give your content a clear audience identity in the hook of your video content. And of course, personalize the messages and stories that you tell in your content specific to your audience by using the language that you use. Maybe there's specific language or words that this target audience of yours uses in their day-to-day lives that only they know. And so when you use it, they feel like you are a part of their community and that you literally speak their language. Also show a deep understanding of what pain points they are experiencing, what keeps them up at night, professionally, maybe personally, if that's relevant, and use that language and that empathy and that understanding of what's stopping them from getting what they want. Because the more that you can effectively and clearly communicate your audience's problems and show a deep understanding of them, then your audience will trust you in having the solution to those problems. And the quick storytelling is using case studies or personal anecdotes and stories that help hit home the message you're trying to share. So, quick story example. About 10 minutes ago, I was putting their dirty clothes in the laundry and my little 3-year-old was there trying to sort through clothes. It was a little bit dark, and I said just a gentle statement, and it scared him unintentionally. And he turned around and screamed like a banshee. And I realized in that moment, I kind of scared him. And guess what? Sometimes our content can do the same. And after I scared him, he ran up to his room in a toddler fit, just screaming at the top of his lungs. And I gave him the space to calm down. And guess what? This type of experience can also relate to how you approach your marketing. A lot of times we can accidentally creep up on our audience, and more than hooking them correctly, we can repel them away because we're not using the right words or phrases to communicate to them specifically. So don't scare your audience away. Invite them with a comfortable and personalized approach in your hooks and throughout the messages and stories that you share in your content. Now let's talk about specific hook examples that you can use in your next videos. Example number 1, you may use a statement like, the number one secret to fill in the blank is ... fill in the blank. So example here, the number one secret to boosting your Instagram engagement is provide your example. Now here's why this works. This instantly promises valuable insight that the viewer might not know yet. When you use words like the number one or the top secret, it implies something of curiosity. It gives them a reason to watch more because they want to discover what that secret is, especially the number one secret. And if they are a marketer, someone who's looking to invest more on Instagram growth, then the idea of growing or boosting their Instagram engagement is relevant to them. That's something that they want. A second hook example is giving a clear instruction promise. So you could say something like, here's how to ... fill in the blank here. So example, here's how to double your productivity in 5 minutes. This is effective because it's direct, action-oriented, and it offers a solution or method. And it's a time-based promise. They can double their productivity in 5 minutes. Again, this is speaking to someone who is having productivity on the brain in that moment, and they want something to get done in a short amount of time. And not promising to be like, hey, double your productivity in the next 5 years, right? That gives much more of a work and effort-based mindset that someone's going to avoid that pain of having to invest years versus 5 minutes is short and sweet. Next hook example is if you're struggling with, fill in the blank here, this is your problem, ... or fill in the blank. So an example here is if you're struggling with low video views, this is your problem. Here's why this works. It identifies a pain point and it hints at a solution. So struggling is a key word here. Struggling implies a pain or a problem. And the symptom or the problem specifically is a low video views count. And as I mentioned earlier, the more that you can show or talk about someone's problem or pain point, the more that they can consider that you have the solution that they need. Hook number 4 is more of a question. It builds curiosity. You could say something like, did you know, and fill in the blank. So an example here is, did you know that you can grow your following by doing this one thing? So this implies a payoff or benefit where growing a following may be of interest to the viewer. And the fact that you establish a one thing, not a 20-point thing, makes that achievement a lot more doable and simplified in the viewer's brain. So this is curiosity driven. It triggers interest by sharing little known facts that they may not have thought of before. Hook number 5 is how to ... or fill in the blank here without fill in the blank. Specific example is how to make viral videos without expensive equipment. What this does here is it solves a problem while removing common obstacles. For someone who wants to make more viral videos or get more engagement and views on their video content, they often feel like a roadblock for them just simply creating videos to begin with is having the right equipment, let alone the expensive equipment. So by doing this type of hook, you can address an objection early on, but also promise a clear payoff or benefit for them to watch the content. Hook number 6, this is probably going to ruffle some feathers, ... So an example here is, so this is about polarization. It's establishing that you stand for something. Maybe it's belief-based. Maybe it's just something that is not as known or not as popular in the industry you're speaking to. This sets up something that's more controversial and contrary to common or popular prevailing beliefs here. But it's effective to grabbing attention. Hook number 7, everything you knew about blank, fill in the blank here, is wrong, fill in the blank. So an example, everything you knew about video marketing is wrong. You can end there or say, and here's why, or watch to the end to learn more, right? Curiosity, you promise that at a future point in the video, they can get the answer to that curiosity-driven hook. This also challenges existing beliefs and makes the viewers, like I said, more curious. Hook number 8, here are 3 tips to fill in the blank. What this does is communicate a clear value delivery in simple, bite-sized tips. An example of this hook is, here are 3 tips to instantly improve your storytelling. All these tips so far, and really all tips in general, are about having the viewer self-identify with what content or information you're going to talk about and deliver. You will hit someone who is considering, hey, I need to improve my storytelling somehow for my brand. How can I do that? How can I improve that? So if you hit your audience at the right time with the right message, then they will instantly connect themselves to that piece of content and decide to continue to watch. You can do this with the audio side of your message, music, voice, but visually as well. And visually, honestly, should be one of the key opening parts, because as someone's scrolling, they're not going to hear it necessarily if they are maybe at the restaurant, maybe they're not plugged in, maybe the volume's just turned down. Hook them visually and with an audio experience as well. The next hook is, here's one simple hack to fill in the blank. Example here is, here's one simple hack to increase YouTube engagement. This works because people love learning quick hacks to improve their performance. Next hook, don't make this mistake, fill in the blank here. Here's an example. Don't make this mistake when creating your next video. This works because it warns of a potential failure, which sparks interest in the viewer to keep watching. Now, a bonus hook here is, here's the secret to fill in the blank. So an example is, here's the secret to going viral with short form content. And this works because it appeals to the curiosity and offers hidden knowledge that the viewer may have not considered before. Okay, so I covered 10, really 11 quick hook examples to use in your next content, especially video. And as you consider these specific examples and even script them into your short or long form video content, consider how you can make it as relevant as possible to who specifically you're speaking to. Because really what hooks should do is give the viewer a clear reason to keep watching and help them self-identify with the message that's going to be shared. Because if they don't, then they're going to skip past. So what are some of your favorite hooks? Maybe you've seen it in an ad, on your favorite creator's channel or profile. Whatever the hook is, share it down below. We'd love to check it out. Also, I challenge you, use one of these hook examples and put it into your next content and share that example with us as well. Tag @ContentSupply on any platform that you're on. Oftentimes, you may have tried hooks like this before, and maybe you've hit roadblocks of the hook not working like you would have hoped, or maybe you thought the hook wasn't very good, but it worked, right? This is a common question that we get. How do I know which hook will work best for my audience? Well, it's all about the testing and analyzing of the data, both in the view count of the watch time for short or long form content. So make sure that you experiment with different hooks, maybe for the same topic or video, be that long or short form. Again, try out different hooks, post them at different times of day. See what works with your audience and whether you are attracting the right audience to begin with. Another concern is, what if my hook doesn't resonate with my audience? So this is super valid. So one thing to consider here is, don't be afraid to pivot and try something new. Always stay true to your brand, the brand voice, your brand message, your vision, values, but keep testing different angles to see what actually sticks. Okay, so we've covered 10 proven hooks that you can use in your video content to capture your audience's attention, give them the reason to watch, and of course, grow your following and channels in the process. If you found this helpful, make sure to like and subscribe and follow along for more content just like this. Thanks for watching.